Hey guys, welcome to Talking with Toxic. This week, featuring Seb.
Ooh.
Seb, back from your excitement over the holidays.
Indeed, excitement, exhaustion, and pre-release action. Lots of stuff have been going on.
Excellent. Well, I am just around with my normal stuff. Nothing really too exciting, but we got a, you know, same old show, I guess. But it's always new stuff to talk about. So usually we start off with video games. I guess that's always just a good place to start off. But I know, like you said, that you want to talk about Peggle, but is there any other games you've been up to or anything?
Well, like you were talking about last week, the kind of comfort games. So a lot of FIFA, just banging my head against the wall, going up one division, going down another division. I noticed you said that you've been keeping up with your Madden though, which is good.
Yeah, not anymore, but I did for a while. But that's because of something else that I'll share in a bit. But yeah.
No, not really. Like I'm aware now that it's the 19th, so the Halo 5 beta is now finished. I played that twice, which I think says a lot. Like I'm excited for the campaign. I'm excited for another Halo, but the beta feels horrible. It's like they're trying to jam Halo and Call of Duty into each other for no real apparent reason other than people like Call of Duty. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Peggle is where my heart is.
That concerns me.
All I'm playing is Peggle, Peggle Knights, Peggle Blast on my phone, and Peggle 2 on the Xbox One. Like, that's not too much. I just want to complete every challenge, Toxic. That's just all I want to do.
I don't even understand the game. You just like shoot the ball and it knocks things as it falls down, then you shoot another ball. Yes, I've played it. I got like the Peggle on my computer when it was like free on EA's like Origin. Well, now it's like Peggle 2's on EA Access. So
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, it was a little bit addictive for a while. I was like, yeah, I get this. Like, you know, and I was like, So I'm concerned. I mean, is this like your Facebook game equivalent kind of thing? Like,
yeah, what could be my Facebook game, a sort of MMO obsessive kind of equivalent. The thing is, it's so sweet and unassuming, and then everyone in the family can play, and that's just when you complete each level, and you're like, okay. And then it's like there's all these challenges and secret special things that you need to have done, and the plan is to try and do them by the end of this year, but I think I'm more likely to go insane.
Yeah. So everyone in the family can play it, but they won't because Seb's fucking playing it. You can't get touches Peggle.
just younger members of the family coming into the room and me just growling at them and just like ripping the control from their hands.
Yeah. So watch it. Don't touch Seb's Peggle.
Yeah. I want to go to a ball pit now and just throw blue and orange things at people.
DashCon 2. I'm telling you, that's the thing. I don't know if we talked about this in the episode that we didn't air, or if we just talked about it like after the episode. But yeah, Allies Index at the next DashCon.
Yeah, just me in the ball pit.
Bigger, badder ball pit.
Just a live simulation of Peggle.
No, it's gonna be like you're gonna see the ball pit, and then you're gonna have like war flashbacks, but it's like Peggle.
Oh man, yeah, Peggle does it. Peggle changes a guy. Peggle changes people.
Good times.
The same person I was.
Well,
what have you been playing?
I have been playing. You're not going to see it because I'm showing it to the camera, and you can't see my camera. But NCAA Football 14. So it's an older game. 14 means it came out in 13. But it was the last NCAA football game to come out. For those of you who are not in America, NCAA is I don't know, some college sports association thing, and they set up the rules for all the college stuff. So it's college football. So it's like the Madden equivalent, but you're in college. Game itself isn't as pretty. It doesn't feel as good to play. Obviously, it's a little bit older as well because they're not making it anymore. There's too many uh, court cases about like players not getting paid, and that's a completely different, like, because me myself, I hate the idea of college sports. I don't hate it, I just don't like, I don't agree with how everything works. And I think the NCAA is a complete load of crap. But I picked it.
For a minute here.
I picked it up because I have my 360 in my bedroom with my new TV, and I don't have any games for it because Xbox One's where it's at right now. So I was like, I kind of just want a game where I can just lay in bed and play. And I was like, I don't want to downgrade and get like another Madden game. So I'm like, I'll just get the last NCAA football. And I was like, yeah, that'll do. And it's really cool because you can make your character, or your player, should say player, but character, it's a game. And you actually start in high school. You start in your last year of high school. And I was really surprised that they actually had the town that I live in, like a small town, that you could actually set that as your hometown, as your high school. You had to make your own uniforms and put in your own name for it, but they actually had it, and I was like you didn't have to type it in, like it was one of the choices. So you make your high school, you play your senior year, and then if you do well, you get scholarships from schools, or you can be like a walk-on, and then you just play your 4 years in college, and that's about it. You can do like the dynasty and stuff where you play as, I don't know, the coach or whatever. Like the normal modes where you play as like one club and and then do what you would want to do. And
you get bonus levels with like peer pressure and like people trying to push supplements on you and stuff.
I was actually saying that today, and I was like, man, they should get like they should like take this like step further, like one, you're just like, oh, you were gonna practice, but you stayed up all night drinking, and then you'll like play your next game like a hangover.
You've got your homework, you're not allowed to play.
Yeah, your grades are bad. You got injured, you lost your scholarship.
But how does that stack up to like the gameplay and stuff? Because like there's, as far as I'm aware, there's nothing like that compares to FIFA. You obviously got FIFA and Pro Evo, but they're like FIFA's just so much better for football, English, soccer.
The thing with this is that they're both done by EA.
Okay.
But it's clearly a different team, and to me the quality just is not there. As far as I can tell, there's no commentating, which isn't as bad in the high school one, because you're like, it's high school, there's no commentating. But in college, like, college sports is huge. Like, college sports is, like, especially football, is massive. Like, they're broadcasts on TV, and everything. So, I mean, I hate the commentators, but instead they have this stupid, like, school, like, fanfare that goes the whole thing, and I guess it's so annoying. Like it's, like, fanfare kind of, I was like, so annoying.
The marching band and the planes flying over and all that sort of stuff.
It's terrible, but the game itself is, to me, it feels so much easier. Like, if I'm a quarterback, I can just lob the ball down. I can do crazy, like, it's just not as refined, like, as Madden, like, in your stats, like, your stats just feel way too good. Like, I can, get the ball, I can run backwards, I can just run around the field and then just sling it so accurately at my wide receivers, and it's like, in Madden, if you don't have points in, like, passing on the run, and you try and pass on the run, like, hello interception, and it just feels way too easy. And I don't know if it's like, but I guess if you look at college games, like the big stars, they make it look so easy. Like, they make it look you're like men against boys kind of thing. Like the big college stars, like, they do make it look easy.
Well, like, we're getting a bit into and like just into like football here, but like how many, like, do most players that are big in college go into the NFL, or is there like quite a few that don't make it, or it's just kind of the stars? Because then that would kind of obviously really lend itself to that kind of gameplay.
Mostly, the big name players go in there, but like most of them will probably not. I think what the average lifespan is like, I think like 2 seasons or something like that, and yeah, there's like huge flops and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the game itself, it's a little bit older, so I mean, you got to give it that. And I think Madden back then was also pretty easy, if I remember. But I would like them to bring out another one. I feel like if it's an issue with using the actual players, just don't use their names. Like, obviously the schools aren't going to care because they're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
And just don't use the names and likenesses of the players. Because if they're going to complain that they're not getting paid, which I think they should, but anyway, if they're going to, file lawsuits and stuff, just don't use them. Just do what Madden does when you simulate, like, past, they put random people in. Like, just do that.
Yeah. Because it could be any year of like college players and stuff, basically.
Well, and the big name people are usually like in the last like year or two of their thing. So if you play like 1-2 seasons, you already have a team of nobodies. Like it doesn't matter if you take out the players, then you don't have to worry about lawsuits, and we can still enjoy a game. So yeah, that's basically what I've been playing. Getting back on point, like. Because I can just lay in my bed and just play it like a lazy person, but it works for me.
Lazy boy.
Yeah, it works for me. Really, there's not too many big games that I can think of that are even coming out. Like, kind of game season's over, and
yep.
If you've already finished playing those games, then you're fucked for now. Because that's what I feel like right now. This is the thing
with the game season, man. Though, like it was just waiting for everything, and then it all just came out, and then it was all too much, and now I'm like,
yep.
They all just whizzed by me, and I played quite a few of them. I still need to finish Alien Isolation, which is still incredible, and there's still like the new DLC and stuff for Shadow of Mordor, which is so good. But I think I played it so much that it's good that I've had a break from it.
Yep. For me right now, like. Far Cry was the one I was really looking forward to. It came out, I played it, I finished it, it's done. Grand Theft Auto, it was really never going to be one of those games where it was going to come out and I was going to play it for hours on end because we had already done that with it on 360.
Yeah.
It's just one of those games where it's like, man, I'm glad I have that because I will play it sometime. We
are going to organise one of these we need a big raids and do some crazy missions and stuff. We are going to do some streaming with that. Like, it just needs to happen at some point.
Yeah, but that game is never going to go, like, until they bring out another GTA, that game is going to be around. Like, until they bring out another GTA, which is not likely anytime soon. It's a thing. And then, the other game for me during game season was WoW, and I kind of got my character to 100 and then just kind of stopped playing. Things are kind of, in terms of games, kind of slowed down a bit.
See, this is why Peggle's where it's at. Peggle never slows down. Peggle never goes away. I have a problem.
You do have a problem. You're tearing this family apart.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, you're so lucky that like Peggle doesn't have microtransactions, or does it have microtransactions?
But see, this is the thing. I've kind of weaned myself off Peggle Blast, which is the one on my smartphone. But that, like, it's really easy at first, and it gets really hard, like as you go through it. Purposely because it has all these microtransactions for either like extra balls or extra lives or extra like effects and stuff. And I'm just like, no. If I'm not good enough to do it on my own, I'm not going to pay, because that's not. Completing something, is it? Like, if you have to pay for 10 extra lives and 10 balls and something to blow up the entire board, like, you haven't done the level.
Yeah. That's... But as soon as there's, like, legit, like, good microtransactions, like, you're out on the streets, like...
Yeah, well, I bought both new characters for Peggle 2, and I obviously bought Peggle Knights.
New characters?
We did the gopher with the multi-ball and the butterfly with the extra pink point power thing.
Are you listening to yourself right now?
But the guy with the multi-ball is really good for getting high scores.
Oh my god.
I suck your dick for some DLC, man!
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, good times.
A little quiet moment of reflection.
Speaking of games that we have yet to play that we should definitely get some time in is Starbound. I played because it's in early access right now, but you can basically play the finished, more or less the finished thing. They have unstable and a nightly version of the game, and we played nightly. I don't know why it's called nightly, but it's just basically a beta for the early access, where it like completely changes the game, like completely. Like it felt like I was playing a new game. Like there's that much, not additional content, but just structure, and it felt more like a game. Like you start off in your ship and you need to repair it. You only have a certain amount of planets at first, and then you start traveling. There's more quests. You go to like a home base where you can get a bunch of quests. That is how to play it. And anyone that didn't like Starbound, but you own it, I would suggest trying to play the nightly build because it is so much better. So I think when we play, we're going to play nightly because I'm not going to touch anything that's not that until the full game comes out. Because it's just so much better. They say it's unstable, but I had it crash once out of probably the 12 to 20 hours I put into it. Which,
well, that's pretty serious.
Yeah, so it's not bad, and yeah, it's a lot more fun that way. And I'm gonna be super pumped for like when the full thing comes out, and so that's a thing. And then Tabletop
I'm really excited to go
Simulator's a thing.
exploring with you guys. Like, and crack it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to crack it. And thank you so much for gifting it. You are a beautiful man.
Yep. But no, it's a great game, and I was like tempted because we were looking for a game to play the other night, and I was like, man, I could really go for some Starbound, but Step didn't have it, and I was like, man, I'm tempted just to buy that game and gift it to him because I want to play some Starbound. So it's that's how he ended up getting Tabletop Simulator, because or Wraith, Heartless, and I were trying to play that Pokemon Master Trainer, and it took us so long to set up, and then he comes online, he's like, oh, let's do some stuff, and I'm like, no, this is happening tonight. And it was during the Christmas sale, so I got it like pretty cheap, and I was like, install this, join our session, we are playing this.
Yeah, between Alex and Dex and QuickTime Blue, Steam does quite well because it's getting us all to play something.
Yet we always sit, like, if it's 3 people, it's terrible. We always just sit down like, man, there's no games to play, and there's like hundreds in our list, and I'm like, what can we play? And it just feels like when you're actually like in a group of people, like in real life, you're like, oh, what do we do? you know.
It's like it's although it's gone now and it's been replaced with spending hours on Netflix, but it's the wandering around the video shop for for days on end, going, what do we do?
Yep. Yeah, it's now Steam's definitely something. I remember when I first got on, because I wanted to get Left 4 Dead, and Heartless got Left 4 Dead. We got it about the same time. We're like, yeah, we're gonna play this game, and I'm like, what? We have to download it from this thing called Steam? What a load of shit! And we were just like complaining, like, why the hell do we have to download Steam? We brought the game, what the hell is with this? And we never looked back. I mean, let's take a look. I have view my library. I have 180 games, but I know that Heartless has more. He has a ton more games than I do, but like it's to the point where we're eventually just like, man, screw this, and now we have like hundreds and hundreds of games between us. Like it's crazy. I know, Seb, you're just getting into the good old Steam.
Yeah. Oh, at 19, I think.
See, it starts off with 1, and then all of a sudden, Sam Heartless has 277 games.
Wow.
So yeah, he's nearly doubling me, and I have 180.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's because like a sale goes on, and you just buy them, and I know when
the sales are just dangerous. Like you see all the memes, and I've like seen people like protecting their wallets for years, and you're like, I didn't really understand until you actually go, oh, I'll have a look. And it's like all the things are cheap, but you weren't going to spend any money.
Yep.
But now you have 100 games for 50 quid, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's the first Steam sale that we kind of did. I think it was back in 2010, and it was one of their summer sales, I believe. And it was like, we can get every THQ game for like, less than $100. Yes, please. I didn't, because the majority of them were like Dawn of War, and I already had every Dawn of War, so I'm like, I'll pass. But I know like he didn't, but then every sale after that gets, a little bit shittier because you already have so many games. Like, man, that's so cheap. I know what Heartless does is he will buy copies of games just in case, like, people are like, what do we play? And he's like, I got this, here, take this. I got it for like $1, like he'll have like just stacks of games like in his inventory that he got for like a couple of dollars on Steam just for the situations of when you need people to play games.
That's awesome. Heartless has the worst like gamer tag, like the most inappropriate gamer tag of all time. It's just far too nice for a name like Heartless.
Yep. I know like the only game that I have right now in my inventory is Left 4 Dead 2, because I don't know if it works this way anymore, but if you're in like Australia or like another country like Germany or whatever where they limit the violence and stuff, like the blood and stuff, so if you buy from Steam you get like a less gory version, but if you get gifted the game from someone overseas you get the proper version.
You say like Germany and Australia?
Yeah, I know they're the big ones that have restrictions on gore in games and stuff, so yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I would just buy copies of Left 4 Dead 2, and then when people are like, man, I want Left 4 Dead 2, but I don't want the I don't want the what I don't remember the names, like Altered Violence one or whatever. I'm like, yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's
such an odd concept. It's like, if you don't want to play a game that's like got violence and gore in it, don't play a game that's got violence and gore in it.
Well, it's like they want to play it, but the government is what's putting the blocks on it. Because I know like Saints Row 4, Savage is like, I want to get that. Damn it, it's the stupid version. So I brought it for him, gifted it to him, and we were good.
That's crazy. I remember my auntie telling me there's like a version of RoboCop that has all the swearing taken out. So people are there. It looks like a dubbed like martial arts film because people are going,
"Yep,
stupid man." And it's just like, what?
It's basically that. I know Left 4 Dead's like the bodies just disappear as soon as you kill them. Like they don't get dismembered or anything. There's like no blood. So you just shoot a zombie, it just falls to the ground and vanishes.
A game that needs that. Deadliest Warrior. Let's see how you would play that.
Yep. Yeah.
But then I suppose the Attack on Titan SNK mobile game, which is so addictive. Again, you're just like launching up buildings and attacking titans. That's got smile mode for kids, where you're like dusting smiley faced things instead of killing titans.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
But see, if a game puts that mode into it, like that's one thing, but if a country's government is stopping it, that's a completely another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true.
But
we knew on that day everything would be changed forever.
Yep. So is there any other video game stuff that you want to go over?
I still need to catch up. I've started desperately watching the live streams, and I'm feeling your ridiculous excitement for Eternal Crusade, because the guys making it seem real good fun, and that they truly love it. Like, I know every now and then they might not know what a Stormbolter is, or the correct thing to call a lascannon, which is funny. But like, there is some serious passion and love, and that comes out in the wars, I think, at the end.
And I always skip them because I hate the loud noises. I'm like, I don't know, a cat or a dog. It's like, but it's like, so I know when I know it's coming, I'm like, nope. But I get it, like, it's all in good fun. But, like, I like not just that, but I like the effort that they go into to learn the IP. Like, when Miguel was talking about, like, how much he's read, like, just reading the novels and stuff.
Yeah, they're smashing out the Horus Heresy, aren't they?
Yeah, and I was like, that's, like, there's one thing to do a little bit of research on the IP. It's another thing to just get, like, fully engrossed into the story and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know we made fun of it a little bit, like when they were first coming out, and like saying like, "Oh, we play 40k, like we know the hobby." We're kind of making fun of it a little bit, and it is kind of ridiculous, but
it was just the newsletters. So it's like every newsletter, whoever they introduce is like, "Yeah, look, I do the thing."
Yeah, I do the thing. You like to sing? I do this thing. But yeah, I'm definitely pumped, and I mean, it's gonna be a thing soon. Like,
Yeah.
like I know, like 2016 is when it's meant to be done, but 2016 now feels like nothing because we're already 2015. Um,
So,
but it's gonna be on Steam, like at some point, even in an early access stage. Like, it's gonna be a thing. Like, it's.
it looks amazing, and they're just open, kind of honest thing about their whole transparent thing is so cool.
Yeah.
Like I know people just can't understand what pre-alpha means. Like people keep saying it looks like PlayStation 2 graphics. Things are unrendered, things are unfinished. Like
Yeah.
you need to understand, people don't show stuff at this point, and that's amazing that they're showing it and watching it blossom into
Yeah.
the game it's becoming. It's just awesome.
I think a lot of the early stuff had that as well because they didn't show a lot before they put out the Founders stuff. So they're just kind of like, here's some Founders stuff. And people are like, oh my god, it's a 40k MMO. Here's my money. Where's my game? And then they're like, oh, it's not out yet? Well, let's take a look at some gameplay. Oh, this looks like crap, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think, but now that it's, you know, a long time now, since they did the Founders stuff, people are understanding it, and the latest streams now are like, you know, people are a lot more understanding, but yeah, and the game just, you can see it change, and it's just really good. Yeah, I'm excited. They released some new weapons in the Rogue Trader store. I believe it's just like 3 plasma cannons for the orcs. Well, not 3 each, but you know,
Yeah.
3 for the 1 each. Orcs, Chaos Space Marines, and Space Marines got plasma guns, and the Elder got like some sort of heavy gun. Can't remember exactly what it was, but I'm guessing it's going to be on par with the plasma gun. Just it won't shoot plasma, but whatever it is, it was like the Elder kind of thing. So I thought it was kind of cool the orcs getting a plasma gun because I mean 40k rules wise they don't really have a plasma gun. But you could definitely see like why wouldn't they have plasma guns, you know? So like it looks really cool. And then the Chaos one and the Space Marine one just look like a Chaos and Space Marine plasma gun. So
Oh, fair play. I'm trying to. I'm
I should
still
say
a little
like
bit-
plasma cannon. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but actually, we're just saying, isn't it hilarious people get the IP wrong? But like, I'm still keeping myself away from the Rogue Trader store at the moment because I know I didn't go for the full crazy, quite at the level that you went, and I know that as soon as I start looking at it, I'll be like, take more of my money.
Well, at one point I had all the Chaos stuff, but now they've put so much more stuff in there, I don't have it all, and I don't have enough points to get more. So even I'm probably gonna be having to add more points into it soon. And I know it's just all for cosmetic stuff, but like, there's gonna be a point where the game's pretty much gonna be done. We're gonna be having access to pretty much our characters,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be a point where it's like we could see, you know, it's gonna be pretty much done. The Rogue Trader store is still gonna be a thing, and it's gonna be like we're gonna get 3D previews and stuff of the stuff in the Rogue Trader store. Like it's gonna come to a point where I'm gonna be like, oh, bye paycheck.
Yeah. And I maybe have to get my hands on some of this Heresy era stuff because this whole 5% thing sounds awesome and it sounds appropriate. Like no more than 5% of people can have these crazy relics and stuff. But I want to be one part of that 5%.
They're expensive though. I mean, they're expensive. Like that's a lot of cash for a gun. But in saying that, you gotta not look at it as just the gun. Like you're supporting the game, you know. Like you're like, here's my $35. I support the game. They're like, oh, here's a limited edition, you know, bolter.
Yeah. Well, talking about supporting the game, I love the idea that they're getting the game out. Well, still trying to get the game out as soon as they're happy with what they've got with the main stuff in it. But they're not stretch goals because it's not being crowdfunded in that sort of Kickstarter way or the sort of Star System way. But the fact that people keep investing in it and they're going to just put that money into adding more newer stuff once the game is rolled out. So maybe more factions and sub-factions and more stuff, which is just awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I know you guys were talking last week about how ESO and things are going to get like much better in a year or so. Like they get much more stable once they've been out for a while. That doesn't necessarily feel like, if I've not been tempted at the beginning, I'm not going to be more tempted later unless when it goes free, that would be great. But a game that you're going to be playing from launch, that's going to still becoming more fresh and new over the years is just awesome.
Yeah, the only way a game will become more enticing after it's already been out is if it goes free.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it happens basically with every MMO that comes out now that is paid. A year's time, you're pretty much guaranteed it's gonna go free. I mean, Star Wars, like, that was like the most money put into a game, like, and then after a year they're like, oh, it's free now. But it's done so much better now. It's a better game now. People enjoy it more now, and it's starting to, be its own thing now. Before, when it was like pay to pay, like people didn't, it wasn't. Yeah, like they become their own thing after about a year's time, and they kind of get their feet, and the thing as well is that when a game first comes out, that's not the community. Like, when a game comes out the first month, that's not what the community is going to be. The first month, there's people that brought the game and they're playing the 30 days for free. The real community comes a couple months after that, when, the second month, you're going to make a decision. You're going to play this game, you're going to pay another $15. It's going to be a couple months after that when people are like, they've put in. Yeah, that's the community. So when a game first comes out, like, you can't really judge it too harshly. I mean, you can in some respects, but yeah, it does take a little while, especially for MMOs, to kind of find their footing and how they, their place in the greater scheme of things, like in the MMO world, like, where do they fit in? Obviously, you haven't killed WoW. It's still a thing. So how are you going to make it work and live alongside WoW?
Yeah.
If you don't come out and kill WoW, then you got to fit in somewhere. Otherwise, you're gonna die.
And at this point, I don't know. Is it really possible to kill WoW? Because like it was such a big injection of excitement for the last package. I know you kind of played through and then you've kind of dwindled a little bit, but there must be a whole new surge of people into WoW.
Yeah.
I know I was a new person, and I'm intrigued to play some more. Obviously, I'm more sort of looking to do dungeons and stuff with you, but we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't think you can kill it, because I don't think it needs to be killed. It's not the big monstrosity as it used to be. You know what I mean? Just as, like, Games Workshop is no longer the be-all, end-all of wargaming anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's still out there, and it still has people playing it, but not everyone is playing it. Like, it doesn't need to be killed because there's enough room for people now. Your slice of the pie is there.
Definitely. We say like more and more systems seem to be getting more and more traction and more like popularity. Like I know, like obviously Cousin Boris plays everything, but like Infinity and Bolt Action and Malifaux and all sorts of stuff seem to be becoming a lot more to the fore. Where they were very niche before, like and Warmer Hordes, of course.
Yeah, unfortunately, to play the other stuff, you need to have a decent gaming group or just be in an area with more people.
Yeah.
Like, that's my biggest thing, is I just don't have the people to play. These other games look lovely and everything, but there's not much I can do about it. I'll just be wasting my money if I threw anything down. But, yeah, it's like, and it's like that with MMOs now. It's like, there's more room for people to go elsewhere. There's more room for other games to come in.
Yeah, but nice people to try and plunge a few depths of bit different. Like obviously with Eternal Crusade, it's going to be an MMO, but it's third person tactical fighting, isn't it? More than anything else.
Yeah.
Are there MMOs with like guns and stuff out there at the moment?
There's WildStar, but that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So.
Okay.
I like the game. I think it's great. I like the game, but apparently I'm banned. I don't even know. I played it for a couple weeks. I went to cancel my subscription, and my account was banned. And I was like, oh, okay. Try and contact them through their help thing. They're like, oh, this help thing is closed. We're all taking all help through this other method. And there was no direct link where I could contact someone. It was just like, if this has happened to your account, do this, this, and this. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I need to contact someone about this. And I was like, fuck it then. I won't play your fucking game. I don't want a fucking account with you. If you charge me and I have a banned account, then I'll be coming for you. If you don't charge me, then take your fucking game. I don't care.
With all accounts and structures and things, there are difficulties with all these games, and you need to be able to have some kind of clear way of sorting problems out and troubleshooting with people. And yeah, I can understand why you were pissed off.
Yeah, I sent a message to the only link that I could find, and I mean, I'm not like dumb. Like I can navigate stuff. I work in customer service. I work in technical support. Like that is the thing that I do. And then if I can't find how to contact someone for help, I mean, great, my account's banned. So I probably got hacked, and they were probably doing something bad with my account. Fuck yeah, like that's all I can think of right now. So yeah, it's
harsh times.
But yeah, there are some games with like guns and stuff, but not really. It's mostly fantasy. Yeah. And I think I think in that terms, it's just harder to make guns a thing.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons just why Eternal Crusade is making me really excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Speaking of MMOs, I have been playing some ESO. I mentioned this in last week's episode. I want to do some videos for it, but I don't know what to do because like I'm not really big into the end game dungeons and stuff like that, and Elder Scrolls does a little bit differently, but I'm not really big into the way the ESO does their dungeons. I'm more like into the leveling and stuff, and a couple one-off videos of just me doing random leveling stuff. Probably pretty boring because I mean anyone can just like go into it and do that. So the only thing I could think of is if I did like a proper like started a character and then just kind of recorded as I played that character. It's like the only thing I can really think of to do.
You could fully get involved and be role playing the character, even in the video. That'd be quite fun. Wow. Take upon the mantle.
I don't know about that, but we'll see.
Start speaking with a bit of a lisp if you're playing an Argonian character.
but yeah, like because that's how I've kind of. I mean, I came back in, and I've enjoyed it a lot more this time. My third time coming back to the game, and I've enjoyed it more because I've been taking my time and just listening to the people speak instead of like skipping past them. And like I know that Dana plays, and sometimes we play together, and I'm in this room and she's in that room, and we'll talk on Skype because it's easier than yelling through the house. But like she's already done the stuff, she'll skip through it and start doing the quests, or sometimes she won't listen to them, she'll just read it and get through it quicker than me, and she'll be off doing the quest, and I'm like, why are you doing that? I'm trying to listen to him. You're distracting me if I come out of my quest and you're already halfway done with it. Now I feel like I gotta keep up with you. I was like, I just wanna, and then sometimes it's like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now, and now I'm like, I'm good. Now I can just, so I think what we do now is we basically do our own questing, but we'll get online and just do like dungeons and stuff, because you can do like, there's like solo dungeons. Basically like Skyrim, how you have like the barrows, whatever. Yeah. Bleak Falls Barrow. Yeah, you have like those. It's kind of like those where you just go and do some stuff and get something at the end and bugger off. Like it's like a single person dungeon, and they're kind of cool, and it really, because I'm really enjoying the game, and it makes me sad how much like people just are so negative against it. And I was like, I mean, everyone has their opinions, and my opinion just happens to be a positive one, but I just feel like so much negativity is just so, it's just in the wrong, like people say, oh, it's the wrong direction for this franchise to go, like it doesn't add anything, it's just,
because that's a separate argument. Like, I know lots of us wanted a multiplayer Skyrim, and this is not that, but it's its own thing, and you gotta judge it on that. And again, like I didn't enjoy the beta, but once I watched like your videos and saw the how the quality and you explaining how it actually worked after the beta and stuff, I'm very tempted, and I say this now, as soon as it goes free, I'll be downloading that straight away.
Well, yeah, I hated the beta. I didn't even get out of the tutorial. I was like, what the hell is this? This is shit. And then, but at the same time, like, I went into it thinking that it was going to control like Skyrim. That's how I went into it, and I was like, this is terrible. And I will say this to anyone: don't play in first person. like, and that may put you off right there because you want to play Elder Scrolls in first person. I don't play it in first person anymore, even if I go back to Skyrim. But like, don't play it in first person. It's like trying to play WoW in first person. Like, um,
they put you in first person as well, don't they?
yeah, it's to me it just doesn't work for. It's kind of like GTA in first person. Like, you can, but like, it doesn't really like. Yeah, but this is even worse because like in an MMO, right? You have your skills, right? And you activate a skill, and the character does a little animation, and the skill is done, right? It doesn't really work like that in first person. Like in Skyrim and stuff, like, you don't really have those skills where you push a button and they do something.
Well, you've got an axe in your hand, and you see that swing, or you got your magic, you get to see it happen.
Yeah, which you can do in like ESO, like you can swing your axe and all that, which is fine. But then you also have abilities where if you press like 2, they do a special ability with their axe. And that's like you press a button and you just lose all control of their character as they go through the motions and do it. And it's like, it's kind of like as if you watch, you know how like Skyrim they have the finishing kill things?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like if you were watching that in first person, but it wasn't the finishing kill, it was just a random move halfway through the battle where they would take control of your character and you would watch them do something in first person. Like,
that kind of gave me icky shivers.
It's like,
not feeling that.
yeah, it's I feel like it's a lot better if you just watch the character do it in third person. And maybe that's just because like it makes it feel more like an MMO, but I feel like the game plays a lot better in third person, and as soon as I started playing in third person, I started to enjoy it more.
You can't get away from the fact that it is an MMO. Like, they shouldn't be apologising or making any excuses. Like, it is an MMO. So,
well, the thing is that they keep trying to make it more not like an MMO. Like, it came out, and people were like, I see a sword on the ground. How come I can't pick up the sword? And they're like, well, it's, you can't go into WoW and start picking up, the swords in shops and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, this is an Elder Scrolls game. I should be able to do that. So they're like, oh, okay, you can do it. The stuff that you're picking up is not good quality. You can break it down. You might have a chance of getting some items back from it. You can do it, but why do you want to? You can't really sell it for anything because you got to balance it. It's an MMO. It has to be balanced. So they put that in, and now people are like, well, I can do that, but I'm not going to get punished. So now they're actually going to be putting a judicial system in, like where you can actually get punished. So it's like that they're trying to make it more, and I appreciate that because that's cool.
I've the answer to how you make your videos fun. You make an Imperial character.
Mm-hmm.
You dress him up as one of the guards of whichever area you're in,
and you
wander around the shops just going, "Stop! You violated the law."
Yep.
Yeah.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Hey, I know you.
Yeah.
That's the new video from Toxic. It'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy it, and I can see the criticisms, and I get it. And if you don't want to play that because you want to play your like Skyrim and you want the next one of them, by all means. But I feel like it's a decent game, and I would hate to see it not get the support and not be a thing. I don't want it to not be a thing, and we'll see. I mean, I could talk more about it, but I won't because I know we got other stuff to talk about.
Yeah, fair play.
But yeah, maybe some more talk about that next week. I guess I'll just talk a little bit about my character before we move on, because one of the big things that even I don't enjoy about it is that in Skyrim, like, there's no classes or anything. Like, you basically make your own class. And other MMOs have done that, and I don't understand why. I can understand because it's hard to balance, but I think it's kind of sad that you can't just not have a class and just put skill points into wherever you want. Like, here's some for heavy armor, here's some for this, here's some for that. There's only 4 classes: Nightblade, Templar, Dragon Knight, and Sorcerer. So you're like, what? That's stupid. But you can actually really, like, my Nightblade, which you think Rogue, and we've talked about this before, I think I talked about last week, is like a tank. Like, he wears heavy armor, he has an ability where he can go, like, invisible for, like, a few seconds or whatever, so I can get, like, backstabs and stuff like that off, and sneak attacks. But I can also tank, and I can siphon, and it's just good, like, you can... And then Dana plays the same class in Nightblade, but she plays a sorcerer with healing powers and stuff. So you can really customize it, you just have to be a little bit more creative.
Sounds like a really cool way of working it.
Well, because like the way that it works, like let's say you play a Templar, right? So you're like, Templar is like a paladin. So you have like you have 3 Templar like trees. I shouldn't talk about Templar. I don't know too much about it. Sorcerer, go sorcerer, because that's what I'm playing now. You got three trees. You got Dark Magic, Daedric Summoning, I believe, and Storm Calling abilities. So each three of those can be used in combination. If you want to put the skill points in just one, you can mix and match, level them up. But then let's say you're a sorcerer and you want to equip two-handed axe. Now you can also put points in two-handed axe to get two-handed axe abilities. So, because you got to keep looking at it like it's an MMO, right? Like you have your little bar with your abilities in it. It's like limited to just 5, so you kind of have to like pick and choose like your best skill set. But anyway, like you got to think of it like I'm putting points in. I need to get my abilities. So you can put them into sorcerer points. You get sorcerer abilities, or you can put them into points to get like two-handed weapon abilities or something like that. Like a big like cleave that just throws the person up in the air, and then once they've like flown through the air, you like shoot lightning at them, or whatever you like. And then
that's a beautiful image.
Yeah, and let's say like you're like, well, I wanna wear heavy armor. I want to be a sorcerer that wears heavy armor. So you don't even have to put points into it. But if you want to put points into it, you can put points into your heavy armor to boost your stats and stuff, or boost your damage, with two-handed weapons or whatever. And then it gets even more in depth because you can join the Fighters Guild, or you can join the Mages Guild. You can join all of them, and they open up their own skill trees as well. So now you can get skills that help you fight against demons and stuff in Daedra. So if you join the Fighters Guild, you can get a skill that gives you a little crossbow that you can shoot at people, and then you get even more crazy because now you can put points into your crafting as well. Like if you want to be a blacksmith, you know how in WoW you got like the gray. I mean, this is in most games, like Borderlands and stuff. You start off with the white, green, blue, purple, whatever. Yeah.
Like rarity stuff.
Yeah. So if you go put points into blacksmithing, you can make your own greens, you can make your own blues, and you don't have to worry about finding another piece of gear at all. Because level 1, you can have a set of like epic gear if you really want to craft a set of level 1 epic gear. You could do that.
Because that's the joys of the Elder Scrolls games, isn't it? Because was it Morrowind? You had all the different classes, but you could make your own classes.
Yeah.
And then Oblivion and Skyrim, basically, it depends on what you do. What you do, you get better at. And you could have the sorcerer, like you said, with an axe and armor.
Well, that's how ESO works. Like, what you do is what you get better in, but you do pick a class. So, you are a sorcerer, and if you use more dark magic, you get points in dark magic. If you just use an axe, you're just going to get points with your two-handed weapons or whatever. And then you can go into crafting, you can become a vampire and you have a whole vampire skill tree, or you can be a werewolf and you have a whole werewolf skill tree, and you can customize your characters a lot more than what it looks like. Right now I'm playing a sorcerer, which is I'm playing it pretty much like a sorcerer. Like, I just cast stuff. I go a lot of Daedric summoning, so I can summon like a Twilight and a Clanfair or whatever. Basically it's a little demon and a harpy thing. Yeah. And then I have my ultimate ability is a Storm Atronach. So because I have 2 summoning pets, it does only give me 3 skills that I actually use. And so it's basically just ranged casting and stuff. But then I'm like, I want to be a vampire, so I'm a vampire as well. But that screws me over because I take 50% extra damage to like fire, and there's a lot of fire in that game.
And is you burn up in the daylight, or
no? It's just 50% extra damage to fire, which is huge in an MMO though. Because I mean, like 50% extra, like I come across a group of 3 scamps and like I'm dead if I'm not careful. But I put a lot of points into enchanting, so I'm trying to enchant my gear to give me fire resistance, and that it makes it a little bit better, you know.
So yeah, it makes me want to play ESO now and find the scam stick from Oblivion. Just start spawning them all around you.
I just really enjoy the game because I feel like you can do more than what other MMOs give you. You can't do as much as what like Skyrim or whatever can. But if you want to play an MMO and you want it to be closer to an Elder Scrolls game, and that's the key thing, it's not an Elder Scrolls game in the traditional sense. But if you want to play an MMO and you want something to be kind of more like Skyrim, then there you go. Because if you want to, like I spent hours just crafting stuff. Like you saw me the other day, or well, not the other day, like a while ago, when I was just fishing, and I just couldn't stop fishing. I was like, just one more fish, and I kept running around killing rats to get their like guts, and then just fishing. I was like, just a little bit more, and I'll spend like hours just crafting my gear, like just going around finding like iron, cotton, and stuff, and just like crafting gear. So,
But if that's not Elder Scrolls, I don't know what it is, because that's the joy of Skyrim, is you go, do you know what, I'm just going to go hunting for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's really good, and if it does go free to play, you should try it out.
I mean, all up on this Jimmy.
I think everyone needs to, give it a shot, but don't go in expecting Skyrim. Expect an MMO. Yeah. Because I was pleasantly surprised. But yeah, so going away from games, so we can, start looking at the tail end of the show. Seb, you want to talk about your weekend and your magic goodness that it was your weekend.
Yeah, so we didn't get to play any Magic for a while, being away for Christmas and that, but we came back with a vengeance. Friday Night Magic on Friday. Magic came second for the first time, which was amazing. Playing my Mardu, steal your stuff, hit you in the face with it, and then sacrifice it to the butcher deck, which is always fun. But this weekend was all about the Fate Reforged pre-release. So basically, Fate Reforged, we've already had Counter-Attack here, which you have the kind of the Asiatic kind of Mongol kind of horde, different tribes and stuff fighting each other with their kind of styles of the dragon. And Sarkhan Vol, who's the planeswalker from that plane, decides to travel back 1,280 years in time to try and change the big battle between Ugin and Nikobolas, his master, which is a big dragon battle of death. And the pre-release was awesome. We were planning only to do 2, but we ended up doing Saturday morning and Sunday morning and evening. And the cards are great. I managed to pull myself an Ugin in my first box, which was just awesome. Very excited for him, and even managed to get him out in the last game in the first session. Although I got so obsessed with trying to gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, and put 7 permanents down that I forgot that I could blow up the board and still lost. But that's another story.
Video and reports up on allysindex.com.
Yeah. There's the big write-up for that day, and there's the box opening and some people talking about their hopes and stuff. Video up there, and we're going to do next week with Liam and some other guys. We're going to talk about the weekend and some of the cards that really stuck in our minds and things that really did well in Limited. But first event, 0-4, sad times. Second event, Sarah won it, which was amazing. I came 4th during second in points, which was great. But basically, I'm just really enjoying it. Like, beginning of Khans, I was so grumpy. I don't know if I was just doing badly, pulled bad cards, wasn't in the Limited mind frame, but I was hating. And it took me about a week, and then I realised how much I loved Khans. And these cards are great. Very much in love with Dash. The idea that you can pay less than the converted mana cost to put something down and give it haste and swing with it and then put it back in your hand. That's awesome. Building tribal warriors for Mardu because of that mainly, and the more warriors, and Jeskai because just kept pulling Khans and some rather awesome stuff. So that was great. Oh, and last but not least, yesterday evening we had 4 of us sat together. It was me, Sarah, Liam, and Adam. Everyone pulled a fetch land, a Khans of Tarkir fetch land from a Fate Reforged booster pack. Sarah pulled 2, and I pulled 1, so there was 5 on our table. But that was we were just really confused with that. We weren't sure that that was something that was going to happen. But here's my Bloodstained Maya. You can see, and if I move my finger, you can see it's got the Khan symbol on it. So there are Khan's fetch lands in the Fate Reforged packs, which is interesting. So yeah, great weekend and lots of fun had. Oh, as well as for every event, there are time shifted cards. You get a small booster, and you can see there's slight difference between. But this is the standard construct, and this one's got the dragon himself flying above. And there's a bunch of those, which is just very cool. Just slightly alternative art to show the whole. Let's do the time warp again, and yeah, awesome fun, and I can't wait to play more.
Yeah, I'm disappointed because like we had people at my work that did go to the pre-release, and I was like, man, it does seem so fun, but there's just no way that I would, take time off work to go to one. But they seem really fun. Like you get new cards and you get to like play games and it's like, man, that'd be really cool. But like, so I think like my goal for this year is to live outside Seb's house in a tent and go to like Magic events. But yeah, so
yeah, no. There is just something cool with the limited thing. Like this is the cards that you have to make decks out of, and obviously it's the 40 card limited deck anyway. So yeah, it's just very different to your standard constructed where people can go put all the money into stuff and buy crazy stuff and find crazy things on the net. So it's an awesome format.
Yeah, it's pre-releases seem like a lot of fun. Like it's pretty cool. But
yeah.
I mean, I want to buy a box of the new stuff. I mean, I don't really play Magic enough to warrant it, but I just want to, because first of all, I need trade fodder to help build my deck, because that's a thing, and that's kind of how I want to call it a gaming group, because it's just at work, but that's kind of how it works, is, you're just like, I'm building this deck, take a look at my folder, give me cards for this deck. And I think my trade folder, because I haven't really been playing, is just been like, someone's like, can I look at your folder? I'm like, yep, just put value for value back. So I don't even know what I have in there. I have to go through like it every now and then and be like, ooh, that's new. Ooh, that's new. Because people would just be like, oh, I like this card, take it out, go through their stuff, and that's about the same value, put it back in and give me my folder back. Which I wouldn't say, you shouldn't do that because you're probably going to get ripped off, but like, that's just how I've been doing it, because I don't really know the value of stuff, and I don't really care, because I don't really play too much, so the cards that I need and want are already in deck, so if people can get use out of my trade folder and, put trade fodder back in there, then I'm more than happy for that. I think someone took out one of my Guruk, the one that you untap 2 lands, that one.
Oh right, yeah.
And then they gave me the lion guy. Yeah.
A Johnny.
Yeah, the one that where his ultimate is like get an avatar where the is like a power and toughness equal to your life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like that one. And I was like, because I didn't even realize that. I was just like, oh, here's my folder, and then I'm like, oh, cool, that's new. Because I already had.
That's awesome.
I already had one of the Garuks that I had decked, and I was like, oh man, that's cool, another Planeswalker. So yeah, it's I'll never use it because I don't play white, but yeah. But yeah, Magic's it's just something that I do mostly because like everyone on my team at work does it, and there's a lot of time at night where it gets slow and we have enough time to build decks and play a couple games and something to do and something to talk about.
Well, we can try to get some more EDH done at some point, and maybe even see if we could work out a way of getting it filmed. It could be interesting, editing it down maybe, but yeah. More EDH should happen, because it's been too long since I've played EDH, and it's just such a crazy fun format. Just because you get to do all the stupid things that you would never get to do normally.
Yeah, that's basically all I play is just EDH as well, because I can't keep up with. I mean, I'm doing a better job at keeping up with the format, but I don't want to. Like I'll get new cards when there's new cards, but I don't want to keep up editing my deck, and EDH is fun enough, and it's basically all we play at work because I guess it's easy. I don't know, like it's fun to play in groups, and yeah, I know that's what got me back into Magic, because before that I didn't really like it. I thought it was too difficult to get into playing, and and with EDH, I'm like, yeah, I can get into this. It's cool. So right now I'm working on a blue black deck that is gonna be fun, hopefully. So we'll see.
Dimmy nastiness, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. My infect deck is good, but it can't hold its own in group fights.
Because you just get hated. Infected gets hate.
Well, that, and it's just like just one big guy, and once he's gone, then I'm just open, Yeah. So it's like, and even in one-on-ones, like, it's, if I don't kill in the first 10 turns, then I'm pretty much done. But it's fun. I picked a couple cards out of it, and just because I don't use it so much, because I need a good group deck where I can kind of hang around and actually enjoy the game, rather than get like hated out. But it's fun enough. Yeah.
It's fair play. It's one of the ones. It's just weird. EDH can play all different ways. Like, you guys play quite competitively, but like I said, Liam is just fun plays when we play. So he just stops anyone from going too crazy. We just keep it going, and it's essentially a knitting circle. We're just there chatting bollocks and geeking out for 6 hours because he just keeps the game going forever.
See, I don't know. Like, if it's, I mean, yeah, if you're just like hanging out, like, I could see that like being fun. But like, in my setup, it would definitely not be fun. Just mostly because we're on the clock for one. At any moment, we could get a beep in our ear telling us we have to deal with some like customer. So it's like most of the time we're like playing and you're like expecting a call. So the games have to be kind of short-ish to be a thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I can guess, like, 'cause I've never really played a game apart from against you where I haven't had to worry about a phone call. So I can definitely, see how like that would be fun. I would have to make a whole new deck, but but yeah, EDH is fun, and yeah.
Good times.
You have anything else that you want to bring up, or?
I just quickly wanted to say that, like, I got Governor of Spume here and the Putrid Blight Kings. I got a big thank you to Ian and Alex Deathhead and Blood of Valentine for these for Christmas. And Governor of Spume, I'm going to be working on for my unit for the month, hopefully for this new campaign we've got going on. And he's either going to be my Nurgle Lord or Nurgle Sorcerer. I know these are warmer end time stuff, but I'm going to be shoehorning them into 40k because kind of just Nurgle stuff and Chaos stuff generally just works because it's all just crazy. And I think these guys are either going to end up being aspiring champions or chosen or something like that. They could even be sorcerers or lords in their own rights. So we'll see.
They could almost be Spawn.
They could almost be Spawn, I suppose. And there's just so many crazy ways to build them. There's just, I'm excited. I'm almost as excited to build them as I am for the bits to see what I can do with other stuff. What's left over. Yeah,
definitely. I'm I need to make a post for one, like saying like, monthly challenges. I guess I'm just very hesitant of how badly we usually fail in actually continuing them.
I would like to point out, last time I created a 500-point army. That happened. And I probably shouldn't say this, but my plan is to have made 1,000 points by the end of this year.
I want to point out that like last year I did like over 2,000 points in like 24 hours.
No one cares.
I think at that point in time I was done for the year, so like, but it's a new year, so I can't like slip behind. I can't like keep dragging that around like this year. Like, I either have to like just like knock out another 24-hour thing at the start of the year, so I can be like
48.
done. No, 48. Come on. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know, like, cause I want to do my chaos, and I have my chaos. But if we're doing it for the campaign, I might be doing something else just so we don't have 3 chaos. Not that I care, but I want to be different. Plus, I really want to play some Dark Eldar. Like, I've been missing Dark Eldar. I played them heavily in 5th, didn't play them in 6th. Now it's 7th, so I'm like, maybe we'll give them a go. And I mean, there'll be some Dark Elder, so we'll see.
I kind of want mean and fast. I'm intrigued. I've not actually played against Dark Elder yet, I don't think. So yeah, that'd be interesting.
They are fast. And mean.
Yeah.
And fast and mean.
I think what we're talking about Warhammer as well. I was slightly mentioned we're not going to get into this now, but it'd be really interesting to get some of the fancy
Be careful
players.
what you're saying here. When talking about Warhammer and getting into it.
Oh, yeah, this is true. So yeah, like obviously the end times are still raging on, and with the epic models, I know some people not loving them so much, but there are rumors abounding about things that are going to possibly happening to the old world, being destroyed and pockets of reality bumping into each other. So kind of 8th edition rules will exist, and end times rules will possibly exist, and then maybe 9th edition smaller skirmish rules will exist, and possibly anti-chaos space marines in fantasy, but not space marines, actual fantasy marines.
Wasn't there like a rumor where like armies just wouldn't exist anymore?
There is that as well, but I think so. There was a great article that Boris shared, and someone was sort of saying that like all these things are going to exist at once. So, all the armies from 8th edition should still be playable in some respect, and maybe be able to interact with the end time stuff as they can now, and then also with this more skirmishy, pared down, different kind of army system that's coming in the future. But it would be great to have some people that are more fantasy minded to come in and debate this, because some people are really unhappy, some people are interested. We don't want to be too depressing and too down on it, but yeah, it'd be nice to see people talking about it and expressing some interesting opinions.
The way that I look at it right now is like from like strictly like Games Workshop. Like, there's no way that they think that just destroying lines of product is gonna give them more profit.
Yep.
Like, I mean, you already have the sculpt. Like, even if you just make it kind of like a print on demand kind of thing, like, yeah, I don't know, but it would be good to get people on here, and we definitely have to work that out. But I'm definitely gonna be careful in organizing that show, because episode 2, when we were talking about 40k, didn't end up too well.
The episode that never happened.
We care about everyone's opinion, but we never want to get too negative about a hobby, because everyone has, their own hobbies, their own likes, dislikes, and you don't want to get down on someone's hobby, because we're all like giant nerds and stuff, like, so it's like everyone, like, these things are weird as they anyway, like, like you don't have to like make fun of like or be negative against it, because
no, I'm definitely not. I'm really excited for 9th edition. I want to see what it is, because I've since the end times came out, I've wanted to get into Warhammer Fantasy myself, just because it's intriguing, and I love 40k so much. I want to try something sort of similar, but because this is the thing. Allies Index, the whole tagline is a place for all things geeky gaming. It's about the joy and the passion, but where the passion comes, sometimes negativity can come as well, because people are invested or not invested in stuff. But yeah, we want to keep the joy and the positivity and stuff.
Not that negative opinions are certainly fine.
Yeah, they're valid. Yeah, we just don't want to jump up and down on people's dreams and
hopes
loves.
and dreams. Yeah. Because I mean, it's being in 40k used to be the thing, and now I'm starting to feel on the outside at times. Like it kind of feels like if you're into 40k, like, man, you're a GW bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's I don't like it, Seb.
Oh dear. But yeah, no, everything's good fun. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, you can like or dislike something as long as you're not a dick about it. That's the thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, you GW bitch.
Oh, I'd be GW's bitch if they gave me more models.
I remember there was some art drawing of Savage and I back in the Dice Troop days with a um, it was like a female in like the kind of dominatrix kind of gear, but it had the Games Workshop logo as her head, and she had like the whip and just whipping us, and it was like, yeah.
Good times.
I think that sums up.
Although now there's, because his face is in my draw so much. Is it Jarvis, whatever his name is?
Mhm.
Like, I just have the image of him just in full Dom gear, just whipping you and Savage, which is a beautiful image.
That's even more awkward because I've always said reading his articles is like talking about 40K with your dad. So
Yep. Yep.
like that's what I've always said. It's like it's basically 40K with your dad, like talking about the good old times or whatever. But yeah, it's oh man, Daddy, no. I think we've reached.
Boris had daddy issues.
I think we've reached the point in the show where it's time to start wrapping things up.
I think we have.
But I think what is this, episode 5, 6, 5, 6, 56?
I think 6.
6?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I said that.
I can't remember. But as you can see, we're doing it a lot more regularly now. We had 2 where we kind of missed, but yeah. If you want to talk about stuff or even be on Talking with Toxic and talk with me and whoever else we have, get in contact. If you have something to talk about, saying anything, any topics, anything, something that we can talk about, something we can converse. Let me know.
Spirit discussion.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. It's about basically anything. So if you're getting bored of the stuff that we talk about, then come on here and talk about something yourself.
I like it. Yeah, be proactive.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Anyway, once again, this has been Talking with Toxic this week, featuring the wonderful Seb.
Hello.
And I've been Toxic. Have a good one.